Today I'm with our CTO David Hawkins. We're on stand at the Currency Conference in Bangkok, and he is going to talk us through our V Series cash processing machine.
Yeah, hi. So this is a V Series I've been presenting to the customers this week at the show in Bangkok, and I'm just going to take you through kind of the message I give to the customers when they come onto the stand. So talk about the machine generally with them. So I start at the feeder and I show them how the feeder is operated. Then I start to talk about how the sensors are positioned in the system. I normally take a banknote in my hand and I pass it through the system like this to give them an idea of the travel of the note, and I talk about the individual sensor packages where we look at the back side of the note and the front side of the note with the details of what's happening in each of these areas. Talk about the authentic capability and the fitness sorting capability of both of these systems, and the kind of levels they can set, as a user of the machine to determine different levels of fitness.
And what are those levels, David?
Levels of soiling, size of holes, tears, folded parts on the banknote, and so on. So, give them the reassurance that they've got control over that within the system.
Brilliant. And I'm right in believing that we're bringing a level 3 sensor to the V Series soon.
Yes, that's right. So we've got our trusty model behind the scenes, which we pull out when that's necessary. And I explained to them that that's going to probably, after the development, sit to the left-hand side of the feeder here. I mean, potentially it could fit elsewhere in the system. Once we've done that development, we know for sure where we're going to sit that module. But it's important to tell the certainly central banks that we've got that in mind. It sits in complements with the shredder, so that they've got a total package for central bank operation.
Brilliant. And how many notes a second or a minute can the V Series handle?
So I tell it in both terms. So I always tell them 20 banknotes a second or 1,200 banknotes per minute. And I also kind of say that's at the lower end of the high speed market. So they got some idea that they're working with a system which is truly capable.
Brilliant. And then this next section here, these are our pockets.
Yep.
And I know you're very keen to emphasize the point that it is modular and we can add pockets to this. It's not just the 4 pockets you see here.
I do. I always talk about that, and I always say, look, we have here double-sized modules and single-sized modules. So everything we do around development, I tell them, is based around these module sizes. For example, the shredder is what we would see a double-sized module of these 2 DMM pockets here, and I talk about the other modules which we're planning, high-capacity pockets based around this size module. And the reason I talk about that is because I tell them that it makes it easier to ship the modules. They're all in standard size packaging. It's going to make it easy to do the installation, and the modularity is building blocks I talk about. So as their requirements change, we can look at the hardware configuration and change it and add more pockets, more strappers as their requirements change. So what they take away, the message is that it's a very flexible solution, future-proofing for their long-term operation.
And one question we've been asked a lot on stand is mixed currency. And mixed currency through the feeder and then into the pockets.
Yeah, and we had a really interesting conversation with a gentleman from India who operates foreign exchange in, I think he said, around about 100 airports in India, and he needs a solution to separate foreign currency, not only by the currency but by denomination as well. So we spoke about the flexibility of the system. 20 pockets we were speaking about with dynamic pocket allocation. So the machine can think for itself and utilize the pockets more effectively. And he went away really impressed with what we had to say. So it's interesting. Each customer who comes along has slightly different requirements, and you have to adjust how you present to them so you get the right message across to the particular customer standing in front of you.
And one of the other conversations we've had is about serial number recognition and Printworks looking at different notes.
Yeah, that was another one. That was an interesting visit from, I forget who the printer was now, but...
from Australia.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so they had a particular requirement to basically search for serial numbers of notes which they know have defects on them. So we spoke about that. We spoke about the capability of the machine and being able to search, for known defective serial numbers by, via an uploaded list of serial numbers with defects. So again, it demonstrates flexible capability. And there was another organisation who came by who wanted to use the machine, especially with the level 3 sensor module, to house different sensors. They were a polymer substrate manufacturer, and for their central bank customers, they wanted them to be able to visit their premises with a V Series with the level 3 sensor to prove that they've got the taggant within the polymer substrate correct before it gets produced en masse and delivered to the printer to finish the process. So all kinds of different applications. We've just spoken about the serial number application for the printwork, but it's surprising. They see the system and they see the potential of it. Maybe not as a mainstream banknote sorter, but for other different applications, which just helps them complete their process.
And these two pockets here have been getting a lot of attention this week.
They certainly have.
Especially the one on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
But I will leave you to talk through those.
Let's open the cover up. Let's show it off. So yeah, it really has. It's been the star of the show again. There's a lot of central banks attending this particular conference, always well attended. It's the currency conference by central banks. Interested in the strapping, they really are, and we talk about that a lot. But the shredder is really what they want to hear about. So I tell them about all the capability. I tell them about the shred counting capability, the battery backup capability via UPS. So in the event of power outage or another situation, we take care of that data, which they really want to hear about that message about the printer here, so they can get a ticket report from the system when they require in the event of some incident. And we had a discussion with Customers Engineering as well, because they obviously supply vacuum extraction system and briquetting systems, and they wanted to know how to interface into this. So they want to get ready for this type of system entering the market. So that was a great conversation to have. But also, it's important for me to point out that during the phases of different developments we've got planned for this, that we're going to eventually get to the point where we put the shredder back up nearer the front end of the machine here after the reject pocket, because they think it's really smart, and so do we, that let's get rid of the unfit notes out the system as quick as possible. Don't take them on the longest journey through the system. So that innovative thinking is really, it stands out in the crowd, and that's what we're trying to get that message across here.